You guys, we are doing a $500 emergency haul. That's right. We are at Costco. Alrighty, so lots of vitamins, which you definitely need things like this. We have a lot of vitamin D. Okay, another really good option would be like beef sticks like this. Okay, so this is a really great spot to come as well. They have a lot of different nuts. But we're gonna go ahead and get started on all the emergency stuff that's gonna be going on that shelf. All right, we had to take 10 loads of laundry to the laundry. All right, welcome back to my full house. We've got the whole family with us today, even the hubby. We just went to pick up donuts, and of course, we can't leave without getting cookies for our movie evening tonight. So we're gonna go ahead and turn this camera around and show you all of the yummy treats we just picked up. All right, so he's gonna open it. Yeah. It's okay. There you go. Yummy. So we're gonna have this yummy treat. We're gonna get some coffee and go play outside for a bit. Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
All right, we made it to the park. Everyone's getting their donut energy out. We brought the doggy with too. Yeah, you're swinging really good, Boone. He loves swinging like a big boy, huh? All right, we had to take 10 loads of laundry to the laundromat because our dryer works, but we have to replace our air duct for the dryer. It's like disconnected, so we need to get that reconnected, and it's gonna be a lot of work, but thank goodness for the laundromat. So we have 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. So we're gonna run to Target because it's right down the road, and we'll be back in about 35 minutes. Guys, we are doing a $500 emergency haul. That's right. We are at Costco right now. There are things that I need to add to our emergency stock up pantry that I never got at Sam's Club. So it's been a while since I've even been in here. Shocker, right? Normally I used to come here quite often. Since I got a membership at Sam's Club, I've kind of neglected, not on purpose, but Sam's Club does have some great deals on things, and we really just have been enjoying going there a little bit more often. So we're gonna head in here, see what's going on in here. It looks a little bit not too busy, so I think I came on the right day. So if you're interested, keep watching. Alrighty, I'm excited. So it's an hour almost till closing time. But we had to do laundry, and then I also went and got my nails done. It's been over a month, so needed to get that done, prioritizing my time while my husband's off. But we are here at Costco, so let's get going. I'm excited. Alrighty, I'm really excited to go in. Oh, thank you, Ruby.
Yeah.
Buckled my coffee in, so kind of her. Are you excited to go in?
Yep.
Yeah. We haven't been here in a while. So they've got some vitamins here for $10.49. We're gonna go ahead and pick that up. This is a great thing to have for an emergency. Keep your immune system well. And they have some for adults as well for $11.49. So we're gonna go ahead and get that. And then we're gonna go ahead and we have baby wipes here because we have a lot of babies, and so that is a great price, $19.99. So we're gonna keep this in our emergency stockpile as well. Alrighty, so lots of vitamins, which you definitely need things like this. We have a lot of vitamin D, and the brand I buy from our pediatrician, I prefer a little bit better, but this would be another great thing to have in your emergency stockpile because immune systems go down. You want to be able to rebuild them, and vitamins are really crucial for building your immune system. So, all right, we're gonna keep going. So this is a lot of their stuff they have in the front this time. Just a lot of different vitamins if you're interested. Magnesium is another good one to have as well for $14.99. I'm gonna go ahead and pick up one of these as well. So actually, you know what? I think we have some magnesium at home still, so I actually am not going to get this, but this would be another great thing. So as we're talking here, this is another good one to add to your emergency stockpile, but we actually still have quite a bit from the last time. Turmeric's a good one as well. And yeah, collagen. Collagen, I wouldn't say quite as for like an emergency, but it's still a nice one to have for your skin and hair. Here's magnesium in a pill form. I would say try to do something more like this than a gummy. You don't want every vitamin to be a gummy. So kind of, I pick and choose. I feel like the multivitamin, I don't mind being a gummy, but the rest, and we still have a ton of our fish oil as well. So again, these are another great thing to have on your emergency stockpile, because when immune systems go down, you want to rebuild them. Probiotics is another great one to have, and that is $24.99. Okay, so this is a really great spot to come as well. They have a lot of different nuts. Even popcorn would be a good emergency one. It helps keep little ones, especially like entertained when you have an emergency. Say, you know, you have a tornado coming, but you have a popcorn maker downstairs. Hurry up and make some popcorn, and it will help entertain them as well while you're waiting on something that could be frightening for them. So this is $14.69 for this big guy. It's really heavy, but this is a great thing to have, as well as like a trail mix. Now you don't have to buy a trail mix like this for $12.99. You can make your own trail mix with a bunch of different things. Like they have Crunch Mix Ranch. That's very interesting. I have never seen this for $9.99. But again, I haven't been here for a while, so that would explain it. They have like a berry trail mix going on here. That looks good. But again, you can buy a bunch of different nuts and berries and make your own trail mix. So we're just going to skim through and see what they have going on. So my daughter just said that this would be another great thing for an emergency, which she's totally right. If we had to hurry up and go to the hospital, remember guys, emergencies are so many different things. It could be health related, where you have a family member and all of a sudden you've got to scram and get out the door, and you have a bunch of little ones and you need to grab something very quickly that will help them while you help someone else. This would be a great option. $9.89. So we're gonna go ahead and grab one of those. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and grab some pistachios here. This is another great source of protein and emergency. So these are $15.99. I don't like the price, but we do enjoy us some pistachios, and again, great option for an emergency. Now they have pistachios that are like in their shell right here, and I know some people enjoy those. I personally don't like taking the time to undo them all, but those are $15.89. And then they have some that are unsalted. So they have such a good variety here at Costco and option wise. And these ones for the unsalted are $15.89. Now, if you like salt and pepper, they're right here. Again, I bought these. I did not know they were salt and pepper. Unfortunately, I did not like them. They were a little too spicy for me. My husband, he enjoyed them. Okay, another really good option would be like beef sticks like this. This is nice because they're pre-packaged, and this doesn't expire until 5/30/26. So that's quite a while of it lasting. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick up one of these. And these are, I'm trying to read which one it is. Okay, $15.99. So we're just gonna get one to add to our collection. All right, another great option would be something like this. I'm not even gonna show the kids because we wanna keep things on our shelves for emergency purposes. That's why sometimes we go through things as we do our daily routines of whatever we eat, and we do use some of our technical like emergency purpose foods, but there are some things like this that I will store behind other food and they won't even see it. So we're gonna also pick up this one as well. So this one is $14.99, and then the Z bars are $21.69. All right, we're gonna take a little intermission really quick and put a pizza order in because it's movie night as a family, and I almost forgot that we can't forget our pizza. So let's go put that order in real quick. There we go. All right, check. Pizza order is done. Now, you guys might agree, might disagree. I've heard a lot of people when they do pantry stock ups for an emergency, you also want to have something for your children or even adults that struggle with like things that could be triggering to their emotions. So something like this might be really good. So this is organic, and That's about the healthiest one I can see here. So we're gonna get $16.99 and grab one of those boxes. Now I could do something like this, but my kids really don't like that. But they do like these, so we're gonna go with that. All right, so this isn't an emergency thing, but I want to go ahead and show you guys they have some new rugs in Costco. These are $80, and here's all the different ones. We've been wondering, when are they going to update their rugs? And then they also have a new pattern right here as well. And those are on sale for $99.99. So yay Costco for updating some rugs. I think this one's really pretty. I like that one. All right, we're going to go ahead and head to the baking stuff. There's a lot of things I could say, oh, that would be great for an emergency, but baking stuff's really important too. So we're gonna go ahead and get some vanilla they have right here. I like this vanilla at Costco. I haven't found a vanilla at Sam's Club, but this is only $9.99. And I think that's very reasonable and it lasts quite a while.
What's the difference though with the black lid? This is what we normally get, the black lid.
There's no difference. They've just changed the bottle. But you know what? Let's check the date.
Oh.
That might be a good idea. So this is November 13th, 2029. What is this one? This is... Oh, you know what? Yeah, they're both the same. So the date on this one is Best by October 17th. So let's get the one that says 29, the year 29. So there we go.
Perfect.
Good idea. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and grab a bag of brown sugar for $8.49. Oh boy, that is heavy. So we're gonna get that. So I need brown sugar as well. So one is gonna be for emergencies, and then I'm gonna go ahead and grab one for us to use now. When I can, I try to do things like this. Obviously, I can't always, but that's the whole purpose of, like, you wanna have some things that you don't touch. I can't always do that. So sometimes I'm just grabbing what we need. But in this scenario, I do want to have an emergency stockpile as well that we don't touch. Obviously, I rotate things. So like when I go back to get more brown sugar, when we run out of one, I'm going to take that one and use before I would use the next one, if that makes sense. Okay, so chocolate chips are $13.99. I'm going to go ahead and grab two. One is for an emergency that we will not touch, and one will be for my children to be able to bake with. Same with this. We need sugar in our home, but again, I want to add to my emergency stockpile, so we're going to grab two of the sugars for $6.69. Okay, so we are not running low on oil or anything like that at the moment, but I'm just going to grab one for $10.99. That way we always have it. All right, so this is wonderful to always have on hand is flour. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick two of these up where we have one for an emergency, and then we can use one because we like to make a lot of sourdough recipes, and we also like to bake. So these are $16.99, but this is my favorite flour, and you cannot pick this up at Sam's Club. But these bags, for the price that you're getting, is definitely worth to come to Costco. All right, another wonderful thing to have on hand for an emergency is coconut oil. You could do many, many, many things with coconut oil. You can use it if you need to cook. You can also use it for your body. So I really do like coconut oil. We do not have any at home, but I will not pick up another one for like anything else because this will last us quite a while. So $17.99 will be the price for that big coconut oil. All right, and the next thing I'm gonna go ahead and pick up is pancake mix. This is an easy meal to make and doesn't take a lot of thought process. When you're under stress, this is a great thing to whip up for your children when they are hungry, and you can make pancake sandwiches with it. So $7.99, I'm gonna go ahead and pick up two of these. Another thing to have on hand is pure baking soda. This is a great deal with the size bag for $8.89. I'm gonna go ahead and pick up two of these. Another great thing to have on hand is bacon crumbles. You can add this to anything, and what child does not like bacon? So $8.99. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get some rice. Now again, you guys, I don't buy anything we don't eat. There are so many things I'm like, oh my goodness, that would be really good for an emergency, but I can't see any of my kids eating seaweed. I know a lot of people like it, but we're not there yet with our kids, so there's no point to buy it, but there are really good deals right now. So, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and get 2 bags of this rice for $17.49. All right, another really good thing to have on hand is pepperoni slices. Kids can just eat this right away with some crackers, and those are $9.99. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and get 1 bag of cranberries. These are really good for $9.99. So my kids love these. So actually, I'm gonna go ahead and get 2 bags so they can have one now, and we can also leave one on our emergency shelf. So there we go, $20 right there, but good stuff. So I have a lot of little ones, and I kind of have to remember that when doing this whole emergency haul. We're gonna go ahead and get 1 box of these yogurts for $14.39. I just found it. So this applesauce right here is what they like too, and that's $9.99 as well. Now again, we will have a shelf, and I'm gonna show you guys how I'm gonna go about this. I'm gonna be organizing with you guys, so stay tuned for that at the end of this video. But we're gonna go ahead and put this on our emergency shelf. All right, the power's out and we need to whip something up quick. These kids are hungry, my husband's hungry, I'm hungry. This would be a great option. You don't have to cook it. Canned chicken breast would be a great thing to have on hand. So that is $13.49. So we're gonna go ahead and grab one of those to put on our emergency shelf. Yeah. All right, another great thing to have on hand is olives. My kids love. I'm not even saying that enough. With capital letters, love these olives. They are so good. They don't compare to any other olives we've ever had. They taste phenomenal. So emergency happens. The cool thing about these, your can opener is electric. It's not working, your power's out. They have that little tab inside here. You just open it and you can share a can of olives with some chicken. And those are $13.39. All right, we're gonna go ahead and grab one of these. This is great to also have on hand for an emergency. They have a different variety pack, and these don't expire till March 10th, 27. And they are on sale right now for $7.69. So we're gonna go ahead and grab one of those. All right, we finally made it out. We got a lot of good stuff, so we're gonna go ahead and load that in. We also got 2 pizzas, all of our laundry, because our dryer is working, but our air duct has to be replaced. So we're gonna go ahead and load this in, get home, watch a movie as a family, and I'm gonna show you everything we got. All right, all loaded up. Let's get home and have a movie night. All right, well, we made it home. These kids are hungry. We're gonna go ahead and eat and watch a movie. So stay tuned for the wonderful emergency haul coming to you. You ready for pizza? Pizza! Are you ready for pizza? Pizza! Yay! You ready? All right, good morning. Welcome back again. We are now gonna go ahead and dive into the Costco haul that I went ahead and I picked up. Last night we got home, put some things away, and then we had pizza and we watched a new movie that we purchased. By then it was like after 11 o'clock and I was tired. So I was like, you know what, we'll just do it in the morning. We got sunshine and then I'll feel a little refreshed. So I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna be doing as well as the haul. But I have a plan. You know, I think sometimes plans come as life goes on. You know what I mean? It's a give and take, it's rearranging, it's replanning, reorganizing. So this shelf right here, I purchased at Aldi's about probably 3 or 4 months ago. And I use this for like household supplies. However, I'm gonna go ahead and take everything down, set it to the side, move a couple things around, and show you what I'm gonna go ahead and do. Hopefully this next couple days, I'm gonna head back to Costco They have an amazing shelf there that's very, very sturdy for canned goods. So if you see this shelf right here, I would like to replace that with a sturdier shelf and then eventually use that shelf for like household supplies. So this shelf for the moment will be emergency purposes only. So let's get started. Okay, but before we get started on doing all that fun organization stuff, actually, it's a lot of fun to me. I love being organized and rearranging and having a new idea. And I'm always like, wow, that idea was so much better. Or sometimes it's not. And then later on, I rearrange again, right? Real life. But we're going to go ahead and get started on all the emergency stuff that's going to be going on that shelf. Because I know in past emergency hauls, we've talked about how I just put everything on my shelf, which is totally fine too. But I would also like to have a designated spot for emergency stuff, where in my mind, I know I'm prepared, if that makes sense. I know I'd be prepared with it on our other shelves as well, but I'm just really wanting to kind of designate a spot. And we're gonna try it out. Maybe I'll be like, no, that's kind of a waste of space. We'll just reincorporate it everywhere again. So, all right, we're gonna start down here with a box of wipes. This will not go where we keep diapers and wipes. This is going to go on that emergency shelf because we have a lot of little ones and things happen, and this seems like a really good thing to have on that shelf. So that is why I bought it. There's not much more explanation to it other than we have a lot of little ones, and I think this would be a really good thing to have on that shelf. Now, we're going to head into some protein here because I really think protein's a really good thing, again, to have on the shelf for emergency purposes. And I was like, what items could I get that could stay on the shelf, don't have to be refrigerated, and are easy to open? So I came up with pepperoni. I only buy what we eat. We can try new things. I'm all about that, but I will never stock up on it unless my family is like, yes, that's a go. I love it. Pepperoni is one of those things. If my kids had to have pepperoni and some crackers for an emergency, they would be really happy with that because we're used to Lunchables. So this will not go on our shelf where they can go ahead and have it at any given time. We still have some pepperoni, so they're totally fine with pepperoni, just to clarify that as well. But this is going to go on my emergency shelf. So if there was an emergency, I can go ahead and grab one of these bags, a box of crackers, and we can figure out what the next plan is. Chicken in a can. You don't have to cook this. You just need to drain the liquid that's inside. I don't need a can opener. This was a win for me as well. So eventually I like to keep stocking up on some of these items and grow my emergency shelf. In the meantime, just getting started, this is what we could do this time. So this just feels good to know I have something on my shelf. So one big can, well, it has, let's see, I think 6 of them. Yeah. So there's 3 on that side and 3 on that side. So 6 cans of chicken breast. And that is a really good source of protein. Now, again, I don't think my little ones would be like, oh yeah, I want some chicken out of the can. But me, Ruby, and Dad, and maybe another one of my older ones would be okay with that. Would probably rather have the pepperoni. Moving over to some more protein, bacon bits. This would be another great way to have protein. So you can mix this again with chicken in a can. You can eat it just as is. The only thing is at the top here, I did see it says refrigerate after opening. But if my whole family is needing to eat this entire bag, if we are like in a quick emergency, I think we would be totally fine. It would probably be gone pretty quick. Yeah, I mean, again, you guys, this is all a learning curve for me, trying to figure out what's a good idea, what's not a good idea. So let me know what you guys do when it comes to protein. I know we can do sardines, but we don't eat sardines. I know there's like those little hot dogs in a can. They won't eat that. So I'm trying to think of things we're used to. And so this is another one that I just thought, you know, this might be a really good idea. So we're going to stick to it and we're just going to try it out and see what happens. Pistachios is another great source of protein, and majority of my kids are okay with pistachios. So as well as my husband and I. So that is another really good one to have on the shelf. And I like that it has a reusable seal, so we can constantly shut it, you know, and keep it fresh. So that was a really nice thing to see that. The bacon bits, oh, it does have one too. Alrighty, so I was doing some research and I'm trying to do healthier options. You're gonna see I'm doing some really good options, and then you're gonna see I could have probably done something better. But again, we're working with the budget we have. So we're gonna do the 100% grass-fed beef minis. And the reason I did minis rather than like the big ones is because a lot of times they waste the big ones. I forget that brand, but I bought it last time and then it had a recall because it had like metal in it. So I went with this one this time. It has 28 sticks, 4 grams of protein for each. So I just thought this was a really good option. I have a lot of little ones and I think 1 little stick would be sufficient for them. Oh, chomps, that's what it was. And they're really good, but on the other hand, they never finished them. So my older ones would, but I was just like, you know what? This would be a really good option, the mini ones. So that is the protein that I picked up. We're gonna go ahead and head over here into some other items now. Another really big plan I have is to also stock up on water. We normally use water bottles, but I want to get to a place where we can also have an emergency stockpile off to the side of water. Water is very important for your everyday life. And that's where these come in handy. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this camera around and show you what I'm talking about. Alrighty, so right here, these crystal lights have 4 different flavors in them. These were on sale. There's 60 little packs inside. The expiration date is really good because we're only in 25 at the moment, so a couple years away. But I just thought this would be a really good, convenient thing for little kids. I was almost going to pick up just like a big thing of Gatorade. Then I seen this and I was like, you know, this might be a really good option too. So I went with it. But yeah, so I'm going to have this on the shelf, and that way when things take place, we can always grab a couple packets, grab the whole thing, grab a case of water, and stay hydrated. And then it just has a lot of these, you know, fruity flavors, very convenient for adults and for children. Supplements now. I think this is really important if your immune system is going down. We use these every day in the house. But I wanted to have some on the shelf where it stays for an emergency. So these are adult gummies, and it comes in a 2-pack. So my plan is just to leave 1 at the moment because we do need 1 more upstairs. But I'm going to just put 1 on that emergency shelf and not touch it. So that is my plan. I really want to get to the place where we leave the emergency stuff. All right, and then right here, these are the children gummies. So 1 will go on the shelf and 1 will go upstairs again. And these gummies, I know they're not the best choice when it comes to vitamins. I am aware of that. We do have a lot healthier options. I'm still in the process trying to find a good brand that's not like crazy expensive. So if you have a good brand that's not crazy expensive with good ingredients, drop me a comment down below. I would love to know what y'all use for adult daily vitamins, and then as well as for like children. However, my husband and I have like vitamin D. It is more of an organic option, and we have fish oil, collagen, magnesium, and a bunch of different other vitamins we take. But our kids do like vitamin D drops and elderberry and probiotics. So anyways, you know, it's a learning curve and a process, but I will say they do enjoy those gummies. It's kind of like a gummy bear to them. All right, moving over to bars. This is definitely a healthier option. My kids love these. I call them candy bars more than like a breakfast bar because they literally taste like a candy bar. So this will go on that shelf again for emergencies, and this will be a great option to have especially with how many children I have. And then for the adults, or kids can have them as well, this has peanut butter in it, so a couple of my kids can't have it because they're not of age yet. But this has 10 grams of protein, so this would be a really good option for my older ones and my husband and I. And I did bring Ruby with this time, and so she was like, Mom, you have to get these. They love them. So these are the peanut butter pretzels, and they are pretty good. And as we get further, I'll show you, I'm thinking about making like a trail mix where you can combine some of these pistachios, and then I also have some cranberries over there. I'll show you in a minute. But so this was about 10 bucks for this guy, and so I was like, you know, that's a reasonable price. We'll go ahead and get that for the emergency shelf. And then again, I have a lot of my little ones in mind when I was doing this emergency haul, and this will go on that shelf. This is not going to be for them. They already have some, so this is going to hide away and out of sight, out of mind thing. Applesauce is good for anyone. I know some adults do eat these. I think my husband mentioned, or maybe it was these. But anyways, either way, these are great options when you're hungry. You know, I wouldn't complain. If I was really hungry, I would eat it too, right? So we have applesauce and yogurt. So this has blueberry and strawberry in it. And you guys, these olives are my family's favorite. Like, they love these so much. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 4 cans and put them on that shelf, and then put 4 cans in the refrigerator to get chill, and then they can have them. So again, like I mentioned, I can't do this emergency haul all the time. You have to do things when you can within budget. And then sometimes it's going to look like this, where you take half for your family and you leave half for an emergency. So that's what I'm going to do. So I encourage you guys to not beat yourself up when you're like, but I bought this only for an emergency. Yes, but do what you can when you can. I could not this day purchase 2 of these, or I would have. But what I can do is use half now and save half. Over here, popcorn is a must-have. This is an easy emergency grab and go. Most places have a microwave, and if not, you can always knock on somebody's door, right? So I really wanted to go ahead and grab this. This is going to go on that shelf only for emergencies. It has 44 bags in it, and when we run out of the one we have for our house, I'll put that one for us to be able to use, and then I'll get a new one for the emergency shelf. So it's just constant rotating, making sure you're using what you purchased first, and then the new stuff you purchased, put it in the back or rotate it. So that's just kind of what I'm doing, and I pay attention pretty well to what I need to do. Like when I buy cans, it is draining to constantly have to move it up, but that's what we do because we want to make sure we're always rotating. So this is why I normally don't go all the time for canned goods. I wait till it does kind of go down a bit and then replenish. All right, another great thing to have when you have small children is something that will like entertain them as well as comfort them. So my option was gummy bears. They're in tiny little bags so we can monitor how much they're having. But again, this is something where it will make them happy, and if they're upset, it should help calm them down, help sidetrack them. And yeah, so that's kind of my only reason for getting this. I'm sure my kids would love to eat these right now, but they're not. This is going to go on that emergency shelf as well. All right, so what we're going to do here now, you're going to see a lot of double, but one is going to go on the emergency shelf and one is going to go normal shelf like in my pantry. So we have 2 bags of pancake mix. I am going to put one on my shelf by my breakfast stuff and baking stuff, and then one will go on that new shelf that we're going to be creating. Same with the cranberries. My kids absolutely love cranberries. I'm actually kind of surprised because we've had a bag for a while, and just recent they've been like devouring them, and I'm like, okay, we can do that. I would much rather you have this than chips. So I went ahead and I purchased 2. These were only $9.99 a piece. That's a really good deal in my opinion. I'm sure I could get a healthier brand right with anything. We have to do what we can when we can. One thing I love about cranberries, it's so good with like dark chocolate, nuts, pretzels, and peanut butter. Someone I was talking to, she's like, oh, my kids love dark chocolate with cranberries, and we just like melt the dark chocolate, roll the cranberries together, and put them in the fridge to cool, and they love them. And I was like, that's a really great idea. It kind of reminds me of those candies they have that are like blueberries, but they also, I think, have cranberry ones with the dark chocolate around them, if you know what I'm talking about. I forget the name of the brand, but so we might try that with some dark chocolate. I'll have to pick some up, but cranberries for the win. That's a great thing to have on your emergency shelf. You can totally snack on this, and you can eat it for like breakfast, or you can mix it with some chocolate chips or nuts. The options are endless when it comes to cranberries. And then let's go ahead and move down while we're talking about chocolate chips. So 2 bags of chocolate chips. One will go on our shelf here with our baking stuff, and then one will go on our emergency shelf. These are, let's see, 4.5 pounds of chocolate chips. And then I don't need vegetable oil. We still have some here, and then we still have some upstairs, but what I'm gonna do is, I wanted to get it for our emergency shelf, and I was like, well, I'll just add the other one to our normal shelf. So that's what I'm gonna do. That's my plan. I love how things come in 2s for the most part at Costco. Same with brown sugar. We needed brown sugar upstairs, and I'm like, well, I wanna get one for our emergency shelf. Brown sugar is such an easy sweetener, as well as chocolate chips. But like, if you had an emergency and you needed some oatmeal, you could add water, some brown sugar, put it in a jar. We have so many jars with lids, and do like overnight oats. And then again, you can always add some coconut oil. So we ended up picking up this big coconut oil. My daughter likes to use this to hydrate her hair in like an overnight mask. We use it to cook. There's so many things we love coconut oil for. So we needed one of those. And then 2 bags of rice. One will go on our normal shelf, and then one I will leave on our emergency shelf, because rice is a really big thing, and my kids love rice. So again, I only buy what we eat, because I know they will eat it. They had a lot of great things on sale, but a lot of those items my kids wouldn't eat, or my husband and I. So again, even though it was a great deal, no one's going to eat it, so there's no point of buying it. 2 big things of baking soda. So baking soda comes in handy for many purposes. So one will go on our shelf. Again, we're going to rearrange this soon, but one will go on a shelf eventually, and then one will go on an emergency shelf as well. Flour. If you remember in my haul, pick up 2 of those flours. I got up to the register. One trick I've been learning is to bring cash. When I'm doing like a shopping trip and I'm wanting to really stay in budget, I will bring cash. And some of these items ended up having like taxes on it. I don't remember which ones, but I didn't add that into my calculator, right? So when I got up there, it was over budget, and I was like, you know what? I could use my card, but I'm not. So I was like, you know what? Can you please just take one of those flours off? No big deal. So I want to encourage you guys, like, you know, the same for me. There are some times I'm like, oh man, I really want to do this. I want to stock up this, but it's important to also stay in your budget. So you have to do what works for you and not beat yourself up, and realize we are all just doing the best we can. So I hope that encouraged you just a little bit to know that do what you can when you can, and that's good enough too. And with that being said, I only picked up one then. So I had them put one back, but again, it comes in 2. I do a lot of cooking or baking in my sourdough with this. So we're gonna put that in our freezer, and then we'll be able to use it, because I always like flash freeze it. to make sure it kills like any germs or anything like that. And then 2 things of vanilla. This is another great, easy way to sweeten up some things. So 1 will go on that emergency shelf, and 1 will go straight to my kitchen because we are out. So that is everything that I picked up from Costco for my emergency. And I know emergencies look so different for everyone, and I know that could be a really big question. So you never know when emergency is going to happen. You never know when a neighbor might come knocking on your door and say, I'm really struggling. Is there any way you can help me? Or you overhear it and you're like, oh my goodness, come shop in my pantry. And it might not even be your emergency, but you might be able to bless someone else in their emergency. So that's kind of, I don't know. I've always wanted to build a pantry. I don't view it as hoarding. I view it as a blessing. So I hope this encouraged you guys. Let's get started on organizing because I'm ready to get this stuff put away. All right, so I went ahead and I moved this shelf here. So I've actually created a lot more space by moving the freezers that way. So that's awesome. And I can even put some shelves on the wall for like seasoning and things like that. But now I think I'm just gonna go ahead and start stocking up everything that I bought and see what we're gonna work with, and then try to figure out a couple more things. So let's get going. All right, so I'm really pleased with how this turned out. So up above here, you're gonna see a lot of like the snacks, right? And so I put them up high, hoping the kids will stay out of them, right? I'm gonna tell them all about this shelf as well and what we're doing with it and the purpose of it. But as you can see, so a lot of snacks up there. This is like baking items. And then we have protein here, vitamins, Tylenol I added as well. The 4 cans of olives, a bag of rice, baking soda, and wipes. So I'm gonna be taking notes and seeing what I would like to add to this. And it could be a lot of the same things. Maybe I'll get another bag of the grass-fed beef sticks, but it just feels really good to have a designated shelf meant for an emergency only. And they do happen. I've had so many children, you know, unexpectedly fall, or life family events, a family member in the hospital, and so many other things. And not only is it nice to be able to bless my family during those times, but there's other families sometimes in need as well. So anyways, hope this encouraged you guys. Start small, you know, with whatever you can do in your budget, if you are interested in even doing an emergency haul. All right, guys, well, that is it for this video. As you can see, I have a lot to put away still, so I'm gonna get on to that, but I'm excited to share our new shelf with you guys. Hopefully I'll be getting that in a couple days here. But yeah, our shelf that we're using for our canned goods, it's just starting to kind of sag a lot, and I think it's because of how much we have on there. It's just not keeping up with the weight. So I've caught on to the one that's at Costco, and I would love to get that one. So anyways, thanks again for watching. I hope this video encouraged you guys. Start where you can for your family. You'll never regret it. And I will see you soon with a brand new video. Take care and God bless. Bye, guys. Oh boy, on to this. A whole nother project. Woohoo! All right, as you can see, those are the shelves I'm talking about. So we'll take care of that soon. Bye, guys.